valediction Krishna can award. Krishna put that person in the association of devotees. Even if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a narration of so many devotees, whether it's Dhruva, Prahlada. Recently we are celebrating the Narsingh Chaturdashi. Lord Narsingh appeared. And there, I think that's in that's verse number. Just let me. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 9, the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, and there the verse is This 27? Sparshadika. Lord Narsingh placed his lotus hand on the head of Prahlad Maharaj, and then Prahlad Maharaj is speaking there. Yes, that's 26. Verse number 26. Okay. So there it says, Kvaham raja prabhavai shatamodikesmin jata suretara kule kvattavanukhampa na brahmano na tu bhavasya na vairamaya yanmirpita shirasi padmakara prasada. So kwa aham, who am I? You just like wondering how I could get such a special favor, Lord Narsingh. Ko aham raja prabhava ishatamodikesmin. I was born in a family full of the hellish mutual qualities of passion and ignorance. What is my position? What is my qualification to get the yan me arpitaha shirasi padmakara prasada? You have put your lotus hand on my head, but you have not done that to anyone else. Na brahmano na tu bhavasya na vairamaya. There is no pastime where all the in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, Lord shakes hand with Brahma in the beginning of creation. So this is Vedic, shaking the hand sometimes. So, but there is no description that Lord placed his lotus hand on the head of Brahma. Na Shivaha. You have never offered even to Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Navai Ramaya, although Lord, goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, she is always serving the lotus feet of Lord Narayana. But Lord never has placed his lotus hand on the head of Lakshmi. So neither Brahma nor Shiva, even not even Lakshmi, she didn't got that special favor which has been given to me. So Prahlad Maharaj is contemplating what exactly I have done. What is my special favor? And then he started contemplating, and in the next verse he speaks that It's not the next, I think. Yeah, it's a 20th one. 20th. Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kama bhikama manuya prapatan prasanga krutvatma sasurashinam Bhagavata gruhita soham katham nu visruje tava vritya sevam. So evam janam nipatitam pravahi kupe. And just imagine if someone is like driving a car, I don't know, Bangalore. Say someone is driving the car with the speed of maybe 140. I was in Malaysia, they're driving at that speed. You're driving at the speed of 140 and then suddenly you realize that your brake is not working. And ahead is a deep valley. At the end of the road is deep valley and there is a slope where you're driving. And the speed is 140, the brakes are not working. So now the question is, what is the probability that you will be saved? Practically there is no chance. Can you imagine, suddenly at that moment someone comes from the sky and turns your car U-turn and stops it. So, especially the living entities in the Kali Yuga, at least for me I can say, I don't know what you all. Generally the Jivas in Kali Yuga, they all had the confirmed ticket for the hellish planets. We are sure to go there. But somehow, like someone asked Srila Prabhupada, what was our great fortune? ऐसा कौन सा पुण्य किया था that we got this opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness. So especially Kali Yuga, being in Kali Yuga itself is a disqualification, you can say. Like the Jivas were born in the Satyuga and Lord Narasimha appeared, Lord Varaha appeared. Lord appeared in so many incarnations, Kurma, Matsya, the different incarnations. And just by having darshan of Lord's different incarnations, by offering prayers to them, innumerable living entities, they got delivered. They went to the spiritual planet. So originally in the language of accounts, they have like the 31st March is the end of the financial year. So whatever is left over, that is our closing balance. So the closing balance of 31st March becomes the opening balance of 1st April. So similarly, the Jivas who cannot be delivered by Lord Narasimha, Lord Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, Vamana, all that closing balance of Satyug became the opening balance of Treta Yuga. They were like carry forward, you can say. And then Lord Ramchandra appeared, and what to speak of, the most merciful Lord Ramchandra. He delivered so many, even the monkeys, the squirrel, the Ahilya was cursed to become a stone. She also got delivered. And even the demons, those were on the side of Ravana, they said in the Lanka when there was the war was going on. Whoever left their body by having darshan of Lord Ramchandra, they also went back to the spiritual world. And finally, it's mentioned that when Lord Ramchandra was going back to the Saketa Dham, he took all the inhabitants of Ayodhya back to the spiritual world, even including the ants and insects. What to speak of human beings. All the living entities that were residing in Ayodhya were taken back to the spiritual world. And even Ravana also went and Practically all the demons, they also got delivered. But some very unfortunate souls who cannot be delivered even by Lord Ramchandra becomes the closing balance of Treta Yuga, and that becomes the opening balance of Dwapar Yuga. जिनका राम भी उद्धार नहीं कर पाए. They are put forward in the Dwapara, and what to speak. And Krishna appeared, and Nitya Goloka Vihara, one who is doing the Goloka Vihari, he appeared here. And Jivera Karane Asiya Prapanche Leela Koilo Suvistar. Krishna manifested his Madhurya Leela, and so many, even the Putana got delivered, Shaktasura, then Drunavarta, then Bakasura, then Vatsasura, Arishtasura, Dhenukasura, even Kali also got delivered. Finally, Shishupal also got delivered, Kamsa got delivered. Bhishma Pitamaha is offering the prayer in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam while leaving this body. And it said that when Krishna was there on the battlefield of Mahabharata, and all those who were on the side of Kauravas were more fortunate those who were in the side of Pandavas. Because whoever were there in the side of Pandavas, they were getting the darshan of the back of Krishna, not the Mukh Kamala. But the Kauravas were so fortunate they were getting the direct darshan of Krishna. And there also Vishnu Pidama speaks that whoever, while taking the darshan of Krishna and left their body, they also attained the spiritual world. So you can say, Asura Sakala Pailo Charana Vinoda Thakilo Boshi. As Bhakti Thakur says, even the demons also got delivered by Krishna, Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, Varaha. But there's some most unfortunate living entities, the hopeless cases, the useless, you can say the garbage from 3 yugas, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, who cannot be delivered by any incarnation of the Lord. They are all put together and that they are placed in the Kali Yuga. So that's our condition, we can say. So Srila Prabhupada was asked, what was our fortune? So ideally speaking, we didn't have any good fortune. It's not that we have performed so many pious activities, but the Srila Prabhupada said, you are not having any fortune, I gave you the fortune. Or you can say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one for all this patra, vichara, nahi, sthana, sthana. Jai jaha paayate hai, kaha kare premadan. So I'm just speaking from this prayer of Prahlad Maharaj. So we also have the same situation, that somehow what Prahlad is saying here, Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe. So the people in this world, especially in the Kali Yuga, they're like fallen in this ahi kupe. Kupe, you understand the well? Ahi means snake. The well is full of snakes. So completely fallen, and somehow what happened? Somehow we got the association of some pure devotees. So today is also, just now I can tell you, today is also Narada Jayanti. Yes. So, yes, and Narada was the one, Narada Muni is the one, Narada. One can offer Narayana, Narayana dadati iti Narada. It's from whether it's Bhagavatam, whether it's Mahabharata, whether it's Ramayana, any place you see, any devotee who has attained Krishna, you will see in that pastime, Lord pastime, Narada Muni is there. There is no question of anyone getting Krishna without getting the mercy of Narada. With Mrugari, with Valmiki, Dhruva, Prahlad, practically everyone. So even Bhakti Devi also offers a prayer to Narada in Padma Purana, where it says that, how the verse goes? Brahma. No, Brahmaputra Natosmi. How is that? Vachana Rachanam Ekam Kevalam Chaka. Okay. Jayati Jagati Maya Yasya Kaya Dhavaste Vachana Rachanam Ekam Kevalam Chakalaya Dhruvapadamasti Yat Krupato Dhruvoyam Sakala Kushala Patram Brahmaputram Natasmi. Let me offer my respect obeisance to Brahmaputra, the son of Lord Brahma, Sakala Kushala Patram, one who can make even the unqualified qualified. Jayati Jagati Maya Yasya Kaya Davaste Vachana Rachanam Ekam. Even one word, if you hear from the lotus mouth of Narad Muni, you can conquer the Maya. Just by having the momentary stream of Narad Muni, Dhruva Padam Astiyat Krupato Dhruva. The Prahlad got the perfection, the Dhruva got the Dhruva Padam by the blessings of Narad Muni. So here Prahlad Maharaj also remembering that although I didn't have any qualification, but I got this special favor of Lord Nrsimhadev. I got, even in the womb of my mother, I got this pure devotional service because of Narad Muni. So what is the final, his realization? Soham katham nu visruje tava bhritya seva. The exact word I still remember. I think when I came to Krishna consciousness, this 1998. This was one of the words, I think one of the very powerful Bhagavatam class I heard in my early days. His voice, Loknath Swami was giving. He was speaking on this. Ko ham nu visruje tava bhritya sevam. How can I give up the service of that great devotee? Because of whose mercy I am getting your favor. So the point I want to make here, we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we are chanting, we are serving the Lord, we are doing different vratas, we are doing different yatras, parikramas. And ultimately what is the goal? To attain Krishna. But in Bhagavatam you see, those who have attained Krishna, they got the direct darshan of Krishna, and after getting the direct darshan of Krishna, what is the thing they are asking for? They are asking for the service and association of the Vaishnavas. You see, you hear even the prayer of Dhruva, he also asking about, let me get the opportunity to hear your glories in the association of devotees. Parikshit Maharaj at the end of his life, what is that verse? Punascha bhuyad bhagavati anante rati prasangas tadashrayeshu. Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, chapter 19. Let me get again and again, let me take birth in this world. Punascha bhuyat. I don't think that I will get liberation. I am not such a great devotee. Punascha bhuyat bhagavati. Even if I take birth again and again in this world, he asked for 3 benedictions. Bhagavati anande ratihi prasanga tadashrayeshu maitresmi sarvadijubhyo. The first thing is Rati Bhagavati Anante. Let me develop the love for the Supreme Lord. Prasangaha tad ashrayeshu. And a very intimate association of the Vaishnavas. And then friend with each and every living entity. That is 3 things. Now you go to Vritrasura. The 4 prayers of Vritrasura you see. There also is asking about Mam uttama shloka janeshu sakyam. So, like that, you can go on like that. Actually, that was not the topic which I am supposed to speak. But just by getting the darshan of all you great Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis. I am feeling myself very much blessed. This is the greatest blessing. The association of devotees like association. When we come in the association and we get the opportunity to chant the holy name, hear about Krishna's glories, immediately it has two effects. Knowingly or unknowingly, there are two effects. Even if you don't realize, Jarani kate gele Papa dure ja. Just by coming the association of the Vaishnava, the first thing is the desire to enjoy in this material world. That goes away, that vanishes, at least that gets reduced. Most practically I can ask how many of us are having some kind of very sinful thought in our mind now at this moment? Generally, if you are very attentively hearing and absorb yourself with association, the chanting and hearing, the first thing that, at least for that moment, such sinful thoughts won't come in the mind. So the first effect is as soon as you come in the association, the sinful thoughts goes away, vanishes, and the desire to practice Krishna consciousness. That is called a Bhagavad Anukula Vasana. Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, in the section of Prahlada Narsinga, Sridhar Swami makes the commentary. What is the essence of the whole 7th canto? Only two things. The whole 7th canto has a 15 chapters, it has been divided into 3 sections, 5, 5, 5. So the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, out of the 10 topics of Bhagavatam, one of the most important topics is Uti. In English they say impetus, some inclination, some desire to do any activity. So there are 2 types of impetus is there. Uti, Sridhar Swami translates as Vasana. So there are 2 kinds of Vasanas we have. One is called as Bhagavad Anukula Vasana and second is Bhagavad Pratikula Vasana. We have some kind of desires which are favorable for Krishna consciousness or unfavorable for Krishna. So the question comes, how this desire comes in? Atakena prayuktoyam papam chariti purusha. How this sinful desire comes in our heart. And how the desire for practicing Krishna consciousness, the intense desire, how it can come. The whole thing, Sridhar Swami, the beginning of the 7th canto, the first line he says, there are 2 kinds of Uti, one is Bhagavad Anukula and Bhagavad Pratikula. What is the example for the Bhagavad Pratikula Vasana? Hiranyakashipu. He was like the enemy number 1. He was like so much envious of Krishna. He doesn't even want to hear the name of Hari. What is the example of Bhagavad Anukula Vasana? Say Prahlada Maharaj. So how one gets that Bhagavad Pratikula or Bhagavad Anukul, favorable, unfavorable? So the reason has been given by Sridhar Swami. The Jai Vijay, who were the eternal associate of the Supreme Lord in the Vaikuntha Loka, just by offending a Vaishnava from the topmost position, the eternal associate in the Vaikuntha spiritual world, about which Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita, Yad Gatva Ananivartante. So in general, no one comes from there. So this is something exception. But generally it's not like the way at least the person like me, we always keep committing offenses. We take it for granted, the association of Vaishnavas. But in the spiritual world, no one commits Vaishnava Aparadha. But there, just by making 4 Kumars angry, they became the topmost enemy. From the topmost devotee, the topmost enemy. and they developed a Bhagavad Pratikul Vasana. So what is the cause of Bhagavad Pratikul Vasana? It's not only for Hiranyakashipu, even in our life we can see, although we have association, we are chanting the holy name, but what is the most difficult thing is to fix the mind in Krishna. And that's the question which is asked by Hiranyakashipu to Prahlad. Prahlad is the Acharya of Smarana Bhakti. How many of you breathe? आप सांस लेते कि नहीं? Yes. The breathing, the inhale, the exhale is so much natural that we don't even realize. Unless until like when the corona came, at that time we realized what is the value of breathing. And then Ramdev Baba came and he started doing the Kapalabhati, Anulom, Vilom. Then you realize, okay, this is inhale. That what is that? Kumbha, Karechak, something like that. In pranayama they say. And you hold the breath and then exhale. But the breathing, how many of us, like when we took birth from the womb of the mother, then mother taught us, okay, abhi saas andar lo. What to, even in the womb of the mother we are breathing, na? So breathing is something very, like we have the mobile as a default setting. It's very, like the program, as soon as you become live, you come to life, the first thing is the breathing. And it's like the inseparable part of it. It's very natural. So as much as the breathing is a natural, inseparable part of our life, that much natural was the remembrance of Krishna for Prahlad Maharaj. We need to put some endeavor, special efforts. थोड़ा भूल गए थे सांस लेना भूल गए अचानक को याद आ गया. It's natural, you don't even. So for Prahlad is called Smarana Acharya. Akhanda Smarana, constant remembrance of Krishna. And even despite of all the difficulties we see, Prahlad. So that's why Hiranyakashipu was wondering, how could you fix your mind? There's no Whitefield congregation there. There's no Hare Krishna temple there. Even Prahlad Maharaj was not allowed to carry bead bag. Prahlad Maharaj was not performing any deity worship. Prahlad Maharaj was not doing Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. Prahlad Maharaj was not having any books also with him. So whatever limbs of devotion we are performing, Prahlad was not getting such opportunity. How many have seen the drama? That again. ISKCON Whitefield, they have performed that live from Ahobilam. So they very nicely just make that fun there. That if someone would chant the holy name, they'll cut his hands. If someone wear the Kanthimala, they'll cut his neck. If someone put like a tilak on the forehead, their head will be chopped. So that kind of terror was there in the kingdom of Hiranyakashipu, and in that most adverse situation, Prahlad is called as this Acharya of Akhanda Smarana. Even after doing so many things, we cannot fix our mind with Krishna. Even after hearing about remembrance of Krishna, still we cannot remember Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj was having that. So there Hiranyakashipu asking, how could you develop such kind of remembrance? And that is the famous verse, Madina Krishna Paratasvatova Mitho Vipatye Grihavatanam Adanta Gobe Vishnanta Vishna Puna Punashar Mati na Krishna. Krishna mein mati nahi lag sakti. You cannot fix your mind on Krishna. No matter what you do. Para Mitho Madina Krishna Paratah Satova Mitho Vipadyet. All three different. Paratah by external endeavor, Swataha by your own endeavor, Mitha from both the sides. No matter what you do, you cannot fix your mind on Krishna. So how could you get this perfection? And then he says, Mahi Yasam Padarjo Vishekam. When you get the favor of a Vaishnava, when you get the dust from the lotus feet of a pure devotee, that's the only way you can fix your mind on Krishna. So the essence of 7th canto, Sridhar Swami says only two. how one gets the Bhagavat Anukul Vasana, how one gets the Bhagavat Pratikul Vasana. So the two words, the two terms which have been used by Sridhar Swami is Mahat Kopa and Mahat Kripa. This is essence. It is Mahat Kopa. If you offend a Vaishnava, Bhagavat Pratikul Vasana, your mind will go your mind will go away from Krishna. And how you can fix your mind on Krishna? So Mahat Kripa. The first 5 chapters, example of Bhagavat Pratikul Vasana, that is example of Hiranyakashipu. And next 5 chapters is Bhagavat Anukul Vasana. And that is example is Prahlad Maharaj. And then the Mishra Vasana, last 5 chapters are there. So the point, sorry, I should come back to the subject. The point is this the association of the Vaishnavas is very valuable. That's on the point. So, okay. So we are just, I just thought of speaking on the subject of the Nama Tattva. Where Sri Rupa Goswami is speaking that about Hare Namaiva Kevalam, that will Nama Ashtaka. And then it says that how sweet is the holy name. Madhuram Madhurebhyopi. So what is your personal realization? Sri Rupa Goswami says, Tunde Tandevinimratim Vitanute Tundali Labdhaye Karna Kroda Kadambini Ghatayate Karnavudebhya Spruha Chetah Prangana Sangini Vijayate Sarvendriyanam Kriti No Jane Janita Kiyad Viramrutai Krishneti Varnadvai. This is the same Hare Krishna Mahamantra which we are chanting. Some Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, what is the reason we are not able to develop the taste in the chanting the holy name? So there he gives various reasons, almost 16 reasons are there. But out of that, one of the reasons is he says the sadhya sadhana tattva vibhrama. This is. So what is the sadhya? Sadhya is what is the goal? And second is the sadhana, what are the means? So most of the time, why we don't get the desired result? Because we are not very much clear about the goal. What is the goal? Krishna Prem. And when you get the Krishna Prem, what will you do? Here the devotees are very pure. That actually is the right answer. Somewhere I asked the question that what really you want? How many want Krishna? All. All, huh? Sure. Guarantee. Do we really want Krishna? Actually, we don't even realize that we don't have the pure desire of Krishna. We want Krishna, but what kind of Krishna we want? We want a package Krishna. Package Krishna, understand? You want Krishna, and also how many of you want good health? How many want good family life? Hindi they say. Generally ask, कैसे चल रहा है? भगवान की कृपा है. Everything Krishna will say. क्या भगवान की कृपा है? बोले प्रभु जी कोरोना नहीं हुआ। क्या क्या भगवान की कृपा है। सो आई हैव वेरी गुड सन, आई हैव गुड जॉब, आई हैव गुड मनी, आई हैव वेरी सेटल्ड लाइफ, and this we call, generally we calculate as a Krishna Krupa. We want Krishna, but along with Krishna we want all these things also. Do we really want Krishna? So be careful before you answer. Because as soon as we will say that I only want Krishna, anyone of you want only Krishna? Someone is hesitating. So what is going to happen? Raje prasiddham navanika chauram gopanjananam dukula chauram aneka janmajita papa chauram chauragraganyam purusham navami navam shamalakanti chauram Shri Radhikaya ardesya chauram navam budashamalakanti chauram padashritanam samasta chauram. What's going to happen? If you really, after today's lecture, if you are really going to pray, Krishna, I only want you, then what will happen? The first thing happen will you'll get some very incurable disease like cancer or something. Second thing, if you are attached to someone in this world, he will die. First thing, you'll get a disease, deadly disease. Second thing, your relatives will die. Third thing, you'll become bankrupt in your business. And there will be fire in your house. Now, how many want Krishna? Because somehow we are very much conditioned with this Dehata Buddhi. We are very much attached to the present body and whatever, like the Indra when he got the body of a hog. He got attached to that. I have my wife, I have my children. So practically every life we get some kind of package. Donkey wife, donkey children, or dog wife, dog children, like that. And then we think that this is Jindagi isi ka naam hai. This is my world, this is my life, and if this will be taken away from me, then I won't survive. So because of that, the attachment, we are very scared when we hear all these things. Everything will be taken away from us. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Sadhya Tattva Vibhrama. We are not very sure. Do we really want Krishna? Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Ananyashchintayanto mam, Ananyacheta sadam. And Bhaktyatu Ananya Shakya Aham Evam Vidur. Wherever Krishna is speaking about the devotional service, he is using a specific adjective, Ananya. What is the meaning of Ananya? Mata is very intelligent. Na anya iti ananya. I don't want anything else than Krishna. So when you have that kind of conviction, so first thing is we are not, so I'm just giving an example. Once I asked the question, what is your goal? And one person raised his hand. How many of you want to go back to the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan? One person raised the hand. And then I asked after some time, why do you want to work to Goloka Vrindavan? I am very much frustrated from my company and my boss. So they think that Goloka Vrindavan is like something like an AC hall. And I will have some colors channel or maybe Netflix Prime Video, and then I will have some popcorn. So that is something like spiritual world we have to understand it, where we won't be having any difficulties. So we are not very much clear about the goal, first thing. Second thing, we are not very much convinced about the goal. Prabhuji is saying you'll get the cancer and your relatives will die. Your mother will die, your wife will die. We don't want that Krishna. We are not clear about the goal, we are not convinced about the goal. Third thing, we are not very much determined about the goal. I only want Krishna. Nishkinchanasya bhagavad bhajanonmukasya param param jagamishor bhavasagarasya. These are the three characteristics Lord Chaitanya is saying. Nishkinchanasya, what does it mean Nishkinchan? Kinchan is something. Nishkinchan means one who has understood only Krishna is my property. Krishna is the only wealth of my life. As Lord Chaitanya says, Premadana vina vyartha daridra jivana. Lord Chaitanya is saying, two specific adjectives have been used. If you have attained, you have acquired a bungalow, the money, the family, everything, but in this human life, if you have not attained Krishna Prema, then what Chaitanya is saying? Prema dhana vina. Without the Prema dhana, what kind of life is that? Vyartha and daridra. Useless. And is very poor. The real wealth is Krishna. So first conviction is Nishkinchanasya. Krishna is my only wealth. Second, Bhagavad Bhajanonmukasya. The only duty I have in this human life is to practice Krishna consciousness. Bhagavad Bhajan ke liye hi sharir mila hai. Like yesterday I was speaking with you have to hear. So we have a specific kind of understanding. Oh Prabhuji, I have my family, I have my wife, my children, I need to take care of these things and that thing and this, so many things are there. And after that, if I get some time, then I'll practice Krishna consciousness. Next week I'm going to Naimisharanya in Purushottam Mass. We're going to have the Bhagavad Katha there. So Sud Goswami was sitting on the Vyasasana and then 88,000 rishis were there, Shaunaka Rishi was there. And the question was asked, how long the lecture should go? 2 hours, 3 hours? So what is the reply? Shaunaka Rishi saying, Karim agatam agyaya kshetresmin vaishnave vayam asina dirga satrena kathayam sakshanare. Oh Sud Goswami, we have understood that Kali has now started. Kalim agatam adhyaya kshetre asmin vaishnave vayam. We all devotees have assembled here in Whitefield for how much time? Asina dirga satrena. Not 2 hours. Kathayam sakshana hare. Whatever breaths are left in this life, जितने क्षण बचे हैं सब केवल कथा के लिए है. Practically every moment is for Krishna, and after hearing Krishna Katha, if we'll get some time, then we'll look after our family. So which is the priority? For us, like some of you have some different priorities in life. Yeah, Krishna consciousness, okay. So he's saying, sometime I will do. So Jivera Swarup hai, Krishna Sunday Das. Or Krishna Satsang Das. And after that, Maya Das. Nitya is eternal. The service is eternal, so do not. So you want to offer the flowers to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. So what you do? You'll go and you'll pick up a flower from a garbage can. एकदम सड़ा हुआ फूल है, कुचला हुआ फूल है, पैरों के तले. The flower is crushed and it's like smelling very bad. So Shashi Jivanpur has a Radha Madhav. So just please don't take it another way. I don't offend Radha Madhav Nitai Gaur Sundar. But there's a garbage or some sewage is there and some very bad smelling flower is flowing in that canal, and then you pick up that flower and are you to offer that to Radha Madhav? जो पूरी तरह सड़ चुका है, बदबू आ रही है, कुचला गया है, गंदा मैला है, the fresh, the most fragrant, the fresh flower you have to offer to Krishna. So we have this understanding that the youth, when you have the best of energy, that should be given for the family. And when you will get the retirement, after approach, then I already booked a flat in Vrindavan, and then Saptaj Hari Vaj. I'll give up everything. As Prahlad Maharaj says, Vanam Gato Yad Hari Mahashrayata. I should go to Vrindavan, Prabhupada translates there. So then I'll go to Vrindavan, then I will chant, and then I will become like a Haridas Thakur, and then I'll do parikrama. When? सब कुछ करने के बाद जब मुंह में दांत नहीं, पेट में आंत नहीं, all spare parts are not working properly, you cannot sit properly, you cannot dance properly, you cannot work properly. So the worst part of your life you want to keep it reserved for Krishna, and the best part of life is for the world. So we are not very much clear. So sadhya, we are not convinced, we are not clear, we are not determined, and the most important, we are not very much focused about the goal also. His Honor Shivram Swami Maharaj, once he was speaking, he was giving the example of Arjuna, and Dronacharya asked the Pandavas and Kauravas, what really do you see? Then Bhim said, I can see the mango on the trees. Then Yudhishthira said, I can see the branches, the leaves. And Nakul saying, Guru Maharaj, we can see you also. Duryodhana, what can you see? I can see more than Pandavas. जो उनको नहीं दिखता वो सब मुझे भी दिख रहा है. And when Arjuna was asked, he said, I can't see, I don't see you, even the trees, the leaves, the fruits. I only see the eye of the bird. So you should be clear, and then you should be focused on the goal till the time you have not attained the goal. नजर नहीं हटनी चाहिए. नजर हटी दुर्घटना घटी हिंदी से. So you should be very focused. How much we are always focused. When we come in the association and we have all this philosophical understanding. What do you want? Krishna Prem. 24/7 do you always remember that? Practically every moment do you remember that? So that's one part. That we are not Sadhya Tattva Vibhrama, and second is Sadhana Tattva Vibhrama. We are also not clear about the means. So that's the point that I wanted to make. Harer Namaiva Kevalam. This is the only exclusive mean. And this is not only mean, Srila Haridas Thakur saying, Sadhya Sadhana Ekahaila. Understand? The mean chanting of the holy name is not only the mean, but that's the goal. What is the result of chanting Hare Krishna? Why do you chant without quoting any shastra from your heart? Give me the answer. Why you chant Hare Krishna? Why you chant Hare Krishna?
We want to meet Lord Krishna, see Krishna.
Okay. Mataji, from the heart she says. Mataji. Anyone else?
For our purification and Krishna's pleasure.
For Krishna. Sure? I don't want a philosophical answer. Huh? दिल से बोलना सही में ऐसा लगता है मैं शुद्ध होने के लिए जप कर रहा हूँ प्रभु जी. I don't think in that. Okay, purification. Anything else? Sure, huh? Sure. What shall I? They say that we chant, we use Hare Krishna Maha Mantra as a painkiller and an ATM card. Understand? To fulfill all our desires and to get relief from the distress. Yes?
This is the instruction of Prabhupada.
Okay, good. At least. So So this is called as a duty japa, they say. So one is like out of fear, then out of desire, they say bhaya, asha, kartavya. So most of the time we chanting Hare Krishna, we want to at least get the mental peace, what disturb everybody. That's why to get the mental peace, to get some kind of happiness, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. At least most of the time we chant for this purpose only. Why? And someone say, okay, we want Krishna prema, we want the purification. But someone asked Prabhupada, what is the result of chanting Hare Krishna? So what Prabhupada replied? The result of chanting Hare Krishna is more chanting. So as soon as you think that by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra I have to achieve something, then you are failed. This is not sadhana, this is sadhya. हो गया, अब कुछ करना नहीं है. You don't need to attain anything. Because your mind won't be focused if you have some other goal. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra Prabhupada writes in the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One of the statements is by Srila Prabhupada. Directly having the darshan of Radha Krishna in the spiritual world, Golok, Vrindavan Dham, and hearing the spiritual sound vibration of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is one and the same. So, I think his name is Bhurijan Prabhu. And he was, I was sitting with Bhurijan Prabhu once, in one of the Japa retreat, I was chanting in front of him. And while chanting, I was just looking here and there. So he said, what do you want? I said, Prabhu, I don't want it. You just realize when you are just pronouncing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and if you could hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you are the most fortunate person in the whole creation. He said, there's nothing you need to achieve now. Yeah. पहुंच गए, जहाँ पहुंचना था पहुंच चुके. This is the ultimate perfection. So, sorry, I was supposed to speak on this subject, but somehow I just gave the introduction. So this was why do we need to understand the Nama Tattva? Because we are not very much clear about the sadhana. Krishna Nam Dhore Kotoba. This is a very nice bhajan. Maybe sometime in future we'll discuss about that. And maybe in the future if we get the opportunity, we'll discuss about this Nama Tattva. Where Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a very nice song. The same Hare Krishna Mahamantra where he is going to take you. And then revealing the spiritual form, revealing the eternal service, revealing the Krishna's Rupa, Guna, Leela, everything comes from this holy name. Krishna Nam Dhare Kotobal. What is the power of this holy name? So, where Rupa Goswami is saying Krishna Varna, there are two alphabets, Krishna. What is the power in these two words? What is the sweetness? Na jane, I don't understand. Kiyat pi amrutai, how much nectar is there? Krishna Varna Dvai. So what is the experience? Rupa Goswami is saying, Tunde Tandavinimratim Vitanute. As soon as I start pronouncing this holy name, starts vibrating holy on my tongue, Tundavali. Tundavali, you understand? Like Deepavali. What is the meaning of Deepavali? When many line of the lamps, and there's so many. So when it's two syllable, wish I may have thousands of mouths. And then Karna Kroda Kadambini Ghatayate Karnavudebhya Spruha. And as soon as these two syllables enter in my ears, Karna Kroda, in the whole of my ear, Karnavudebhya Spruha. I wish I could have millions of ears. And then Chetah Prangana Sangini Vijayate. And this two syllable Krishna, when it enters the courtyard of my heart, it conquers all my senses. And generally some devotees say that. Actually there is no authentic source I have, but I have heard from many devotees. The same Rupa Goswami, to complete his explanation, again appeared in Kali Yuga as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a little more explanation. Dehar Budani Bhagavat Yugapat Prayacha Vaktrar Budani Chapuna Pradideham Jivhar Budani Kripaya Prativakrameva Nrityanti te Shutavanat Gunar Budani. What kind of prayer is this? Dehar Budani, give me millions and millions of billions of bodies. I don't want liberation. Let me take millions of birth. But then I have some condition. I want a very special kind of body. What is the special characteristic of that body? Dehar Budani Bhagavat Yugavat Prayacha. Give me crores of bodies. And then what the special characteristic? Every body should have Vaktrar Budani Chapuna Pratideham. In every body, I want millions of mouths. I want millions of body, and in every body, I want millions of mouths. But again, there is more condition. Jivar Budani Krupaya Prativakram Eva. In every mouth, I want millions of tongues. करोड़ शरीर, हर शरीर में करोड़ मुख और हर मुख में करोड़ जीवा और हर जीवा से गुणार बुदानी अर्बुदानी 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 इन और 4 लाइन कहते हैं अरबों कहते हैं नृत्यंति तेषु तवनाथ गुणार बुदानी. So this is like the characteristic. So I had the thought in the mind to discuss that. So although we have heard the glories of the name, and this has been more elaborately explained by Srila Haridas Thakur in Harinam Chintamani. Harinam Chintamani Akhilamrut Khani Krishna Kripa Bole Ye Paila कृतार्थ से महाशय सदा पूर्णानंदमय राग भावे श्री कृष्ण भजीला. So it's a very nice conversation between Srila Haridas Thakur and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They speaks about very elaborately about the Nama Tattva and then the Shuddha Nama, the Nama Aparadha, 10 offenses. So this is like the Akhila Amruta Khani, the storehouse of the nectar. And by the mercy of Krishna only, Haridas Thakur could be able to speak on this. So from that only I thought of like speaking about those. So by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, only we can understand these glories of the holy name. So the devotees here, those who are regularly practicing Krishna consciousness, those are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, on a regular basis we also need to understand what is the importance of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and how, like, Shachindan Swami Maharaj, I think he says about this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a very deep science and should know it properly. So by the blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we can understand these glories of the holy name. Sansara Sindhu Tarane Hridayam Yadi Syat Sankirtanamrita Rase Ramate Manasche Premambudho Viharane Yadi Chittavritti Chaitanya Chandra Charane Sharanam Prayatu. So if you have these three aspirations in your life, Chaitanya Chandra Charane Sharanam, one should take shelter of the lotus of the Lord Chaitanya. So there are two different kinds of ocean. One is called as Sansara Sindhu and third line is Premam Buddha. If you want to cross one ocean and you want to get drowned in another ocean. Sansara Sindhu Tarane, you want to cross this ocean of material existence, and then Sankirtana Amruta Rasa Ramate Manaschet, if you want to really relish the nectar of the Sankirtana, and then Premam Buddha Viharane Yadi Chittaratti, and you really want to relish this Prema Sagar, then one should take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks on this. So the 2-3 aspects were there. I couldn't cover those things. I just gave the introduction. So Lord Chaitanya elaborately speaks about his holy name. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva 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 Gatiranyatha. So I'll just maybe cover this section in a few minutes, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to Shuklambar Brahmachari. Tave Shuklambare Kaila Tandula Bhakshana Hare Nama Shloke Kaila Artha Vivarana. Chaitanya Chaitamrita. The Shuklambar Brahmachari, Lord Chaitanya accepted the rice from Shuklambar Brahmachari, and there he was sitting while honoring prasadam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was speaking about this Hare Nama verse. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva Nastyeva Nastyeva Gatiranyatha. So here this repetition 3 times. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam. Then Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva. So why this repetition is there? So there Lord Chaitanya says, Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar Nama Haite Haya Sarva Jagat Nistar. So in the Kali Yuga, Krishna himself has appeared in the form of his holy name. And by chanting his holy name, Krishna is giving his personal association and delivering each and every living entity. So there, Lord Chaitanya gives furthermore explanation. Dadhya lagi Hare Rama ukti tina par Jada loka bhushaite puna evakara. Why 3 times the repetition is there? For the Jada loka, the dull-headed, the people are those who are not fully convinced, to emphasize the exclusive importance of the holy name Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, and Eva is only holy name is the thing which is going to deliver. So there's a purport by Srila Prabhupada. There's a presentation in Hindi. I'll just give this. केवल शब्दे पुनरपि निश्चय कारण ज्ञान योग तप आदि कर्म निवारण. And the first eva word term has been used, and another term is kevalam. In Sanskrit, if you understand, eva and keval is almost synonymous, almost same. Kevalam, eva. Only holy name, only holy name. So why this keval is used? To specially reject all this karma, jnana, yoga, tapa. That's not going to help. अन्यथा ये माने तार नाहि क विस्तार नाहि 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 ए तीन एवकार. So why nastiva, nastiva, nastiva? If someone is not convinced that only holy name is everything, so he won't be delivered in Kali Yuga. So for that, na is mentioned there. Kali Yuga dharma hai नाम संकीर्तन चारि युग चारि धर्म जीवे कारण. So in 4 yugas there are different, the dhyan was there, the yajna was there. So in Kali Yuga the holy name is there. Now another thing is always Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj speaks in his book Shuddhanam Bhajana, where he says that it's not that only in Kali Yuga holy name is there. Even in Satyuga, in the Treta Yuga, Prahlad Maharaj was chanting the holy name of the Lord. Dhruv Maharaj attained Krishna by chanting the holy name. So practically every yuga the holy name is there. So what is the difference? In every yuga, holy name, importance of holy name is always there. But what is the difference? So there it's mentioned by Gaur Maharaj. There is a mantra for Satyuga, there is another mantra like Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Kali Yuga. So Gaur Maharaj quotes there, for Satyuga there is a different mantra, for Treta is another mantra, for Dwapar is another mantra. I think Satyuga mantra can give you Dasya Bhakti, then Treta mantra can give you Vatsalya Bhakti, then like the Dwapar mantra can give the Sakhya Bhakti, and the Kali Yuga mantra can give Madhurya Bhakti. Like that he also gives the explanation. But another important point he mentions there is that what is the difference between Kali Yuga and other yugas? In other yugas, along with the holy name, you could have performed other activities also. You can do tapa, you can do dhyana, you can do yajna. But all these other limbs or sadhanas, they are not effective in Kali Yuga. What is that verse? Yajna, dana, tapa, vrata, I think that. I think the Prem Rupa Jagdanand Pandit also speaks about Yajnana Tapavrata Yata Shakti Chilo Karma Kanda Jnana Kanda Vibhagilo. Says that as soon as the Kali Yuga started, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Vrata, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Tapai, everything got fully discharged, like a mobile gets discharged. So the yajna will not give any results. The dana won't give any result. Tapa, vrata, karmakand. So all the power has been withdrawn from all these different sadhanas. And there it says Krishna Nama Niveshilo. The power has been taken from all the yajnas, the Rasu yajna, Ashwamedh yajna. There are thousands of kinds of yajnas are there, and tapasyas are there, the vratas are there. So the power has been taken from all different sadhanas, and then all of that power has been fully invested into Krishna Nama. So they won't give any result. So then he says, Ataiva Kali Yuge Nama Sara Parakona Dharma Kaila Nai Hai Apara. So the first aspect of this discussion is holy name is the essence. Ratri dina nama lay khaite shuite tahar mahima ved nahi pare dite. And if someone could chant the holy name constantly, the glory, even the Veda also cannot describe the glories of that person who can chant the holy name even while eating, even while sleeping. Khaite, shuite, there are so many different places. When Lord Chaitanya says in Chaitanya Chaitam, Khaite, shuite, jata tatha naam loy, desh kal niyam nahi sarva siddhi hoy. Lord Chaitanya was sitting in Navadvip before sannyas, and all the Navadvip inhabitants were there. And the Lord Chaitanya said, how many of you love me? So how many of you really love Lord Chaitanya? How many would like to really please Lord Chaitanya? So what he says, if you preeti sabakara, if you really love me, if you really want to please me, then always follow my this instruction. And what is that instruction? Ki shayane ki bhojane ki vajagarane aharnisha chinta Krishna bolo vadane. One should constantly chant the names of Krishna, Shayane, Bhojane, Jagarane. समझ गए? सोते समय नाम लेना है, हम नाम लेते समय सोते हैं. The other way, Lord Chaitanya expecting you should chant the holy name even while sleeping. So he'll say, no, but this is not practical. Is it possible to chant the holy name while sleeping?
Yes.
How many of this experience? Oh, some other experience. Really, very advanced version of that. I haven't got his experience. It's possible. Because Lord Chaitanya is saying, and that is the minimum standard what Lord Chaitanya is expecting. Ki shayane. In this world, if you perform some activity for a long period of time, according to Acharya, it's called avyaharita bhajan. Avyaharita means minimum for 12 hours. If you perform the same activity, then even while sleeping you remember that thing. Like the materialistic people you see, those are very much greedy. The whole day they are doing business, they are sitting in the shop, always like counting the money, paisa, 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 paisa. So what happens sometimes, even while sleeping they remember that. They get the dreams. They'll see the shop, they'll see the customer. Because throughout the day there is so much absorption in the business. And similarly, sometimes some people have absorption, a boy has absorption for the girl. So similarly, when one will get absorbed in the holy name, how many people do japa? What is the meaning of japa? Chanting the name, huh? Okay. Okay, let me hear from Sanatana Goswami. What is the definition? Mana madhye sthitam mantra, mantra madhye sthitam mana, mana mantra sanyuktam japa ityabhidhiyate. This is the definition given by Sanatana Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilas. This is japa. What is japa? Mana madhye sthitam mantra. When the holy name gets fully settled in your heart, the heart gets fully occupied. You don't have any other thought other than Hare Krishna mantra. Mana madhye sthitam mantra, and then mantra madhye sthitam mana. Man me mantra, mantra me man. Mana mantra sanyuktam, when they become one, that is called japa. That is the definition. So when one attains that kind of perfection, then even while sleeping you can chant Om Name. Ki shayane ki bhojane ki bala. So that's what the same here is mentioned. Shuna mishra kali yuge nahi tapa yagya yehi jana bhaje Krishna tara mahabhagya. Oh, Tapan Mishra, there are two different sections. One Shuklambar bhaje, even to while Lord Chaitanya was speaking with Tapan Mishra, he said that in Kali Yuga there is no other tapa, there is no other yajna other than the holy name. Ataiva grah tumi Krishna bhajagiya kutinati parihari ekanta. Yes, give up the kapata kutinati and just go back to your home. You don't need to go to Vrindavan. You don't need to go to Himalayas. You don't need to renounce your family. Just go back to your home and chant the holy name. साध्य साधन तत्व ये किछु सकल हरिनाम संकीर्तन मिलिवे सकल. That's one of the points which I was mentioning. Sadhya sadhana. So what sadhya means the desired result, and sadhana is the mean. So both becomes one, especially in the Kali Yuga when we chant the holy name. Okay, this was the point which I was mentioning again. Sarva Shaktimana Nama Krishnira Samana Krishnira Sakala Shakti Name Vartamana. The same Krishna who killed Putana, Kamsa, who lifted the Govardhan hill, who performed the Ras Lila, the same Lord who appeared as Lord Ramchandra and killed Ravana, the same Lord who appeared as Narsingadev and killed Hiranyakashipu, that same Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared on our tongue when we chant the holy name. The same Krishna is there. So what Krishna's potencies are there, they are there in this Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, this was this next two verses which I was speaking now. Danavrata tapa tirtha chilayat shakti devagana karma kanda hairya vibhakti. What Shakti was there? In Dana, in a Vrata, in a Tapa, in a Tirtha Yatras, all in worshipping the demigods, in the Karma Kanda, in a Rajasuya Ashwamedh Yajna, in the cultivation of the Vedic knowledge, Adhyatmic Jnana, Sabha Akarshiya, like the energy, the power was taken from all this, and Krishna Nila Apana Name. And it was fully invested to Krishna Nam. All tapa, yajna, vrata, everything is there in this holy name. So this is one of the explanation. Eshloka nama balilaya mahamantra shola nama pattis akshara tantra. So Lord Chaitanya saying to Tapan Mishra. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So before this verse there is a Hare Krishna Mahamantra verse there. So Shloka Nama Bolilaya. So this is called as a Mahamantra. So Lord Chaitanya has given, because when I with us, where this Hare Krishna mantra is said as Mahamantra. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is given there. And Sola Nama Bhattis Akshara. So it has 16 names and 32 syllables. Sadhite sadhite yave premankur have Sadhya sadhana tattva janiva setave. So we chant this mantra continuously, then the seed prema ankura, the seed of the divine love of God will sprout in your heart. Then you will be able to understand the goal of life and the process to attain it. And then he says, Anya karma dharma chadi harinam sara Kali yuge taha bina gati nahi yara. So we should give up all other karmas, all yajnas, pujas. We should fully convince that holy name is the everything. Hare nama japyam deyam geyam nirantaram kirtaniya cha bahuda nivrittir bahuda ikshata. For those who desire the highest divine bliss, the supreme goal of all japa, meditation, continuous singing and various forms of conscious kirtan is the holy name of Hari. So the first aspect, that's karma kanda, jnana kanda, yajna, tapa, vrata, everything is there in the holy name. Now there is another way to see this. Now we have come to Krishna consciousness, we are performing bhakti. So how many limbs of devotional service we perform generally? Total? How many total?
64.
Okay, let me see. Ananta prakarasu sadhana bhaktishu Srimad Bhagavate Hari Bhakti Vilasecha Bhakti Angani Bhuda Varnitani. This is from Nectar of Devotion. This original words by Srila Rupa Goswami. How many Ananta? This is not the words given by Ananta Shesha, it's by Rupa Goswami. Ananta Prakarasu Sadhana Bhakti. So how many limbs are there? Innumerable. Where it has been given? In Srimad Bhagavatam, in Hari Bhakti Vilas, this has been given. And then Rupa Goswami gives this verse. Hari Bhakti Vilasesya Bhaktir Angani Lakshasha Kintu Tani Prasiddhani Nirdashyante Yatamati. So how many given here? Bhakti Angani Lakshasha. So how many limbs of devotional service are there? Total? Lakshasha, lakho bhakti ki anga hai. Just will give us Sanatan Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilasa. So in Hari Bhakti Vilasa, countless limbs of devotion are described. Kintu tani prasiddhani. But out of them, I am giving you the essence. Who is saying this? Rupa Goswami. So millions of limbs of devotional service has been given to us by Srila Sanatana Goswami. So the devotees in Bangalore will get scared. So Rupa Goswami has summarized that into 64 limbs of devotional service. Pradhamnito bhakti sadhane chatushashti vidhani bhakti angani vaida vicharita ragano vicharina kathyante. So according to Vaidhi Bhakti sadhana bhakti. So now we are filtering. So millions, out of that 64. And already Mataji gave the answer. And again, out of that Prahlad Topi Shuddha Bhakti Samuleka Samalakshe. Prahlad in Bhagavatam gives the essence. And that are 9. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Swarnam Padasya, Arjanam Mandram Dasyam, Sakyam Atma, Nevedanam. भजनेर मध्य श्रेष्ठ नवविधा भक्ति कृष्ण प्रेम कृष्ण दीते धरे शक्ति. It's a very powerful statement. We don't even realize each and every limb out of the 9 limbs of devotion has the power to Krishna prema Krishna dite. It can give love of Krishna. Not only Krishna prema, but it can even give you Krishna. Krishna prema Krishna jite dhare Mahashakti. So these are like those 9. So in that, okay, I'll first complete it, then again Rupa Goswami has summarized that this 9 also might be too much for the devotees in Kali Yuga. Summary is 5. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. So these are 5. Association, chanting, hearing Bhagavatam, residing in Whitefield. Dham and Sri Murti Shraddha, and with faith and devotion serving the deities. Sakala sadhana shrestha. A pancha anga, these 5 angas are most powerful. Shrestha sadhana. And what is the power of these 5 angas? Krishna prema janmaye. A pachera alpa sangha. Even little performance of these 5 limbs can give you Krishna prema. Please imagine how powerful is that. Anganam panchagasya purvalikitasya cha nikila shrestaya bodhaya punarapya astashansanam. The glorification of these 5 items association of devout chant of name is meant to reveal the supreme excellence of these 5 acts of devotional service. Now it's over. Now the final thing. Saramade sarva shrestha nama sankirtana niraprada nama laile paye premadana. So where we started? the yajna, dana, tapa, vrata, and then 64 bhakti, and bhakti 60 millions of limbs, then 64, then 9, then 5, 1. So there it says, and that holy name also, which has been given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srimad Gaura Sundarena Abhivitam Shri Nama Sankirtanam eva Nikhileshu Bhakti Angeshu Pradhanatamam Anushtanam Iti. This is the commentary of Goswami. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Gaur Sundar, that Nama Sankirtanam Nikhileshu Bhakti Angeshu is the foremost practice among all the limbs of devotional service. So this is the whole journey. Started from here. So Sanatana Goswami gave millions, Rupa Goswami 64, Prahlad 9, then 5, and finally 1. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And the Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives that meaning. Who is a real devotee? Sadhana bhakti yata prakara ache. So whatever the different limbs are there in sadhana bhakti, tar madhye, out of them, ek matra namashray sarva siddhi hoy. How many of you know the definition of Shraddha? You heard? Like,
Yes.
what is the definition of Shraddha?
To have faith in name and form and cause.
Lord Chaitanya gives the definition of Shraddha. Shraddha shabde vishwas kaile sudruda nishchaya Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma kritahaya. This is the definition, na? Generally people say, na, हमारे भगवान में श्रद्धा है. People say that we have faith on Krishna. So what is the definition of Shraddha? Krishna bhakti kaile. If I'll serve Krishna, I will surrender Krishna, I will practice devotional service to Krishna. Sarva karma krita hai. Krita you understand? Yeah, done. Past perfect tense. हो गया. Karma krita hai. If I am in this human life, if I am practicing Krishna consciousness, I am fully surrendered to Krishna. What is that verse in Bhagavatam 11th canto? Devarshina Devarshi Bhutapranam Pitrunam Na Kinkaronaya Vranicha Rajan Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihritya. So there are so many depths. Deva, Rishi, Bhuta, Apta, Nrinam, Pitrunam. The depths for the demigods, the depths for the living entities, the depths for the animals, the depths for the king, the depths for the mother, father, Pitras. Just by serving Krishna, also Yatatara Mula Nishechanena, Trupyanti Tatskanda Bhujo, by watering the root, all the limbs of the trees are served. So that is Shraddha. If I perform devotional service to Krishna, I am not supposed to do anything. So that is Shraddha. So similarly, what is Nama Shraddha? That is mentioned here by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Ek matra namashray sarva siddhi hai. If I take full exclusive shelter of the holy name, I get the complete perfection. The Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela, Dham, or the eternal form,